want to try out that Crunch Fitness?
Right now?
See if they have that. They might have punching bags there.
Let me see how far it is.
I think it's on this road. $9.95. Robzilla, where can the maniacs obtain this fine crafted merchandise that's right out of the factory, the garment factory?
BigLennyShowGear.com.
BigLennyShowGear.com. This is one called the Goomba Slayer. Look, it has me on the back with the sword and in rare form. I believe the gut was at an all-time peak back then when I was working for Lou, and I would hit that all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet with 7 plates shortly before this picture was taken.
I remember that day. I was out to eat with Brad. He had his day off. Brad and Stinky from Michigan.
Yeah.
And we were at the Brews Room. And you called and you're like, Rob, I took this potassium-based stuff. And you were extremely hyped up. You're like, I feel fucking great. And we all threw our shit down, paid fast, and ran over there to film you. And then you're outside cutting the neighbor's bush with a sword. And
yeah, that was great. It would knock you out first.
Yeah.
And then you'd wake up and you'd get buzzed for 3 hours knowing that you're probably not going to get knocked out again. Or here's a classic take on an original. It sort of is a little more palatable because you don't have my perverted face on this.
The reason for this is, remember the day we walked the beach? How many people were like, where can I get that shirt? Where can I get that shirt? This is a good one for us to have like 10 or 20 of them on us on a day that we go down there.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's more generic, but yeah. That one's the wrong size. I gotta give that one to Brad. That one's XL. Should be XL, right?
Oh, okay.
That one we've shown.
This is a large, Weird Energy. You can give
give
this to Brad, although he doesn't deserve it. Well, it's called Forgive and Forget. Maybe we can get one for Jay Masters since we forgive and forget.
I don't think they have a 7XL.
Well, I was thinking, how about a kitty porn addict t-shirt? Because I believe it wouldn't stop him at all to go looking at kitty porn in the truck cab.
Oh my God.
The keto pedo. I like when he used to say, I'm doing keto. Yeah, for about 5 hours you're following keto.
For one meal. One meal, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. All the shit that he posts, you know, with that physique, that's not all he's eating. I like to see all the meals that he doesn't post.
Oh my God.
You know? The packages of ring things and yodels.
Yodels. This is nice. What do you think about that, Dale? Yeah. I just challenged your commitment to the sport of bodybuilding yesterday. And you're still a little teary-eyed because of that. My sources tell me. That's just too bad, Dale. So, let's see. Which shirt should I wear today?
Well, I think we gotta show the maniacs that you are serious after Dave tried to make a mockery at the After Hours podcast. So I think this shirt sends a good message to each and every one of them, you know?
And you don't have to be Italian to be a gumbo. A gumbo is a big mouth guy that likes to exaggerate how tough he is and tries to intimidate people with words. Like, you don't want to mess with this guy. You don't want to fight Mr. G.
Well, thanks to my handy dandy little vape pen, I'm high Italian.
What do you think about that, Brad?
What, you know what Brad thinks about it? Oh, here we go with these two again, their ooey gooey bullshit.
Yeah. And we're going to do an exorcism of that place, too. I'm going to come in every room and pray right in front of that Ouija board. And when you try any satanic behavior, such as lighting things on fire, which is part of satanic rituals, I'm going to put a stop to it. So we're going to pray before we eat the burnt steaks, and I'm going to bless every room of the house. How's that?
Yeah.
And watch so-and-so kick and scream like out of the movie Exorcist. Her head will be turning around backwards, and vomit will fly out of her mouth.
And we can put a certain truck driver on a stick above the fire and call it the pig roast at Bradford Manor. You feel any difference since that vitamin D shot?
Yeah. I didn't take one today, but I feel like I can use more energy. Remember, I'm still recovering from cellulitis. That takes a lot out of you. I expect to have some more intensity today, which couldn't come at a better time, and ride that wave all the way into October.
All right, show the Goombas. Let's get some Mr. G reps.
You know, a lot of people think full range of motion, this and that. You have to have the tension on the muscle. If you're just extending it, it's really not doing much. Keep the weight moving. Keep the tension on. Keep the muscle firing. That recruits fibers. That's how branch orange trains. Looking forward to seeing Dave Palumbo's friend. See if we can train there a little bit, and then really looking forward to hopefully finding out that Nick Walker's back in Port St. Lucie to see how he trains. If we pick up anything from him, one of the most massive men on the planet. Did you see Big Ramy in that new ad that's looking smaller, like he went off?
No.
And that new hand athlete, he looks like he went off a lot, so which is a good way to do it. You know, take time off.
In what way?
He's just smaller and softer.
What was
looks
the advertisement for the pre-workout?
He said that India commercial.
Oh.
You were actually just looking at it before you turned to find the Jason video. And if you take a close look at it, you can tell he's definitely lowered the dosage. Probably removed the GH too, temporarily, which is smart. Which is what I plan on doing hopefully after this fight to get ready for next year, whichever next year brings. Whether it brings fights or back on stage or whatever. Maybe the wrestling ring if the money's right.
Maybe.
Isn't that funny, Mr. G? All the things you do, you're basically doing the job of an old lady making cookies. No wonder they call you Mrs. G. Granny G. The Granny G, the granny tranny. I'm fighting a 63-year-old granny tranny.
They might as well say, now entering the ring,
Yeah.
George Smalley, and just bring out a bag of dinosaur fossils.
George Smalley, is that a Freudian slip, Mr. Small?
Maybe he's got a little tension, some pent-up tension and aggression because all his life his spatula's been small.
Yeah.
If you catch my
I think
drift.
he was named that after he had to take a shower with the boys in school. And they saw his little underdeveloped genitalia and they start calling him Smalley.
He was a wrestler, Smalley Holly.
Whoa. Come give me a hug, baby. There's a certain someone that seems to be getting upset about anything these days. Stand for something. We stand for intensity, truth, and love.
And forgiveness.
Yes. And no satanic rituals or symbols. I'm going to do an exorcism on that Bradford Manor next time I'm there. I'm going to the Catholic Church. I'm getting a gallon of holy water, blessed water. I'm going to dump it all over the place. If someone will go on Brad, I'll be like, it burns.
If Brad went to confession, they'd have to charge him a month's rent.
Remember my father taking us right that Saturday before football camp opened every third week of August. We had to confess. Like we thought it would make us a better football player. I don't know.
Well, you probably thought it would give you some of the Lord's favor if you had a clear conscience.
Yeah. I have to go confess before. We and Mr. G both just were good Catholic boys.
Yeah.
We should go before the fight together. Confess all his filthiness. So you get call out Jay Masters
What?
to fight?
I know this is gonna go nowhere because of who we're dealing with, but yeah, I think that'd be a great opportunity for the undercard. Me against Jay Masters, I'll do the world a favor. I'll pick up that blueberry muffin and slam him on his head until jelly oozes out. And we can do MMA style because he says I'm retired from boxing. So at least he can have a chance, because if he sits on me with that 600 pounds of flab, maybe I'll suffocate. So he'll have at least somewhat of a shot if it's MMA.
That sweaty flab.
Yeah. Do you accept, Jay, or are you too busy Masterson baiting in that stink tank of a truck that you drive? I'm going to be on first 48 after I'm done with you, Jay. What do you think about that?
Getting good. Getting up.
Huh? I can call it right now. He's going to see that and say, why would I, at 52, fight a 28-year-old? If I was 28 in my prime, I'd kick his ass. That's
Yeah,
gonna
he'll try to interject some logic to it.
his own bullshit logic, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you done with that?
One more.
One more? Just one more. So I've been real good lately with my temper, but this morning I lost it on the Cuban. Didn't lose it on him, but I just, because he's friends with Jay, I said, no offense, but I don't want to have anything to do with anybody who is secretly a little yes man to Jay Masters behind our backs. Which is, if you're friends with, if you call that guy a friend, what does that say about you? So in a way, I'm right. He shows himself to be a real, honest, genuine guy with us, which I believe that. And I feel a little bad, but if you call Jay Masters a real friend, you can't be a good person, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, he's very distasteful as of late, to say the least. Some of the comments.
Yeah. You ever heard of Port Orange?
Yes.
Was it like a Gatorville and can we expect some alligators up there?
I believe so. I think it's on the West Coast.
Hey, I think Gatorland is, it's near Daytona Beach.
What?
Port Orange. When I looked it up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Gatorland's on the way. Maybe we'll make a little pit stop and make a video. Maybe that's how we can get away with murder. Chop that certain truck driver up.
I tell you what, you throw him in that pit,
Yeah.
go do the death roll on him. They'll grab one leg and twirl, rip it right off. Those things are, I tell you what, that place, terrifying.
Yeah.
They got some alligators in there that are almost 20 feet long. There's one of his head is this fucking big. And they have crocodiles there too.
What's the difference?
Crocodiles have a different type of snout. But as far as who's more dangerous, some of those African ones are pretty bad. The Australian saltwater crocs are very aggressive.
You ever see any wild alligators down here?
On the way to Dave Palumbo's, they're behind
Yeah,
that
yeah.
road, behind that fence.
But South
And
Florida,
they're
not
nasty looking. No, I've seen them where I worked. You get like a 5-footer that would go in the canal through the drain pipe every now and again. And they tape it off.
Yeah.
And we were dumping food scraps in. Of course, if they catch you feeding a gator, it's $1,000 fine because they don't want them to not fear people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen them up close. They say the 5-footers, if they wanted to, can break your leg with their tail. Even though they're smaller, they hit you with that tail, they can break your leg. So, it means they could break Jay's leg.
Yeah, I think that'd be great for us. I could use some training too, you know?
Yeah,
And
it's
you
always a
mentioned
good
it,
skill.
so yeah.
I mean, firearms training and fight training is always a skill. Unfortunately, hopefully you don't have to use it, but sometimes you have to. It comes in handy. Good.
I think Mr. G will be here training if he had cellulitis the week prior.
Doubt it. It's too much fun in his life with the birthday parties and such.
Throwing flour all over the kitchen.
Yeah. Doesn't add up. And have you seen any of his training footage? Anything? Any
No.
weights? Any cardio? Any hitting the bag? No. Because if it was noteworthy, he'd be the first person to put it up. I remember Big J doing, I think, 5 or 6 plates on this.
Yeah?
I think it was 5, which is very impressive.
Yeah, but he's got crocodile arms.
Yeah.
And the momentum of all that alcohol slishing and sloshing around in his body.
I was surprised how long Cornelius's arms are.
Yeah.
He's like a gibbon. His arms are like almost down to his knees. Very long arms.
Huh. Yeah, I saw him post something about that.
Wearing the blue jeans.
Yeah.
He's taking an awful lot of GH.
Huh.
He's getting insulin resistant. My tip to you, Cornelius, up the insulin. You're displaying the effects of withered limbs. Don't mean to get to you mentally, but up the calories, up the insulin.
I think Cornelius is one of my favorite people in the world, to be honest.
Yeah, he's definitely tough. Not much not to like about him.
He's just very, very humble, you know? That's why I like him. And he's a good sport. I think he is, at least. I think he is.
He's humble compared to Dale Chance. But here comes this couple that I know it's them.
What I was going to say to you is ever since I started doing the vitamin D, I feel like I don't need as much of the other stuff. The A bombs, all that other extra
Interesting.
shit. Yeah.
You did get a nice little strength surge.
Yeah. While dropping all that stuff.
Might have been deficient.
Oh, big time. I know that.
Just like the rest of the cookie cutters. Unfortunately, it seems that makes a cookie cutter these days.
Yeah.
Is someone vitamin D deficient.
So that's just a message to you maniacs out there before adding a bottle of TREN to your cycle or some other
Which
bullshit.
are gonna cause side effects.
Yeah, try adding vitamin D, B12.
Yeah, they fill in nutritional gaps for sure.
Right,
And even people out in the sun are vitamin D deficient. I was slightly deficient.
right,
And I take capsules with it.
right.
Amazing.
The last few, I think, is force it, but I try to imagine a tennis ball is in between my shoulder blades, you know? That's what some kid told me in high school. I never forgot it. You know when you're like a freshman or a sophomore, you're young, and there's always like that senior, the older kid who's like all big and that inspires you to get bigger?
Sure.
That kid came up to me while I was working out freshman year and told me that. I never forgot it.
I'll never forget seeing kids go through puberty, and I didn't. If I was 12, they were 13 or 14. Kid had veins in his biceps, and I'm thinking, damn, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Girls would love that, you know?
Yeah.
A vein in the bicep, and I could never get it.
Some people don't even have to work for it.
Yeah, even fat people like Jay can get veins in the bicep. If anybody's wondering who this Jay is, it's not Jay Cutler. Actually, it's a guy named Jason Masterson. Mr. G referred to him as Matheson once.
Yeah.
He thought he was behind the trolling, that Matheson.
He is behind it. All right,
I think Jason Matheson's behind a lot of clogged up toilets at truck stops and diners and Motel 6s.
I think he's behind a lot of buffalo wing sauce on hotel linens and sheets.
Some Steel Reserve and pot wings and a bag of Doritos. That's his favorite meal. He loves them Doritos. Just go rim a Mexican to Jay and you get the same taste as a Dorito. Moving around, burning calories.
Yeah.
And hopefully that we can laugh about it once that weird energy goes through the roof. Once they get a load of that weird energy formula, which you're on now, what gets me is the fullness of you after taking that. It's just so noticeable.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I like the smoothness from the Alpha GP.
Remember, Maniacs, Rob's 6'4", so he's not going to be like a bunched up short guy with muscle. He's an athletic guy with muscle, as you can see. Want to drop set?
Yeah.
All right. All right, whenever you're ready, finish them off. I like this type of training, and you can thank Big Rob for it.